Hello everyone, just wanted to pop in here real quickly to tell you about a fantastic little announcement. If you remember from a few weeks back, I brought on a fantastic guest known as Peyton Partyhorn, and one of the things that we talked about was his comic known as Molly's Future Mishaps. The webcomic stars Molly as she discovers a time travel device and with her friend Joe stumbles into the end of time itself, and they must find a way to get back to their proper time period. And as you would guess, mishaps ensue. Well, now, Peyton is trying to use Kickstarter to fund the Volume 1 of Molly's Future Mishaps in print form, and you can help with that today. The link to the Kickstarter will be in the description below, featuring so many incredible rewards, including the book in either black and white or in color, an incredible little plushie, maybe some keychains, and so much more. Check out the link in the description below to help Peyton get to that goal today. If you're not convinced yet, well, why not check out this trailer for the Kickstarter?
I'm a time traveler from the year 4000, and what you're holding right there is a highly sophisticated time travel device.
Well, I'm not giving it back until you apologize. This thing did spill my soda, you know.
Oh, are you serious?
A museum?
Oh man, we must have gone so far into the future that we've reached the end of time itself!
Well, whatever happens, happens. We'll just go with the flow from there. It'll all turn out okay in the end.
No more getting sidetracked. Let's just focus on finding the exit to this weird place so we can go back to our own proper timelines. And that's it.
As friends?
Acquaintances.
You see, this place isn't really some public museum. It's just an archive of everything I've documented about the universe. But anyways, you two slugs have seen too much!
I've ruined my future. I couldn't fix my past. Everything is just so hopeless.
Hey, you made me not want to give up. I'm not letting you give up either. We're getting out of this together, Joe.
Modern Art Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I'm your host, Nathan Ragland, and it's that time of year again, folks. It's time for Amateur April, the time of the year to where I tell you about absolutely incredible creators that deserve a stronger following. And if you think I wasn't going to kick things off with a very good episode, well, hold my beer. Today's guest is Sam Skaggs, an independent wrestler based out of Georgia known as Hold My Beer Hanson, as well as the owner and operator of the brand new promotion Kraken Pro Wrestling. Sam is someone that I luckily got to know while I was back in college. He was wrestling for a small independent promotion back where I was studying at, and honestly, I instantly loved his personality right off the bat. I knew he was destined for big things, and to keep tabs on his career and to see how much he's been able to develop, but yet realizing there's so much more left to go, well, I knew he would be a perfect candidate for this wonderful month in April. If you enjoy Sam, make sure you support him with the links down in the description below, especially supporting his brand new promotion, Kraken Pro Wrestling. They just recently had their first show, and from what I can tell, it was absolutely outstanding, and there's plenty more to come. If you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. Leave 5 stars wherever you can. I see that stuff, and I absolutely love it. If you want to go a little further with that support, may I recommend checking out the merch shop on fourthball.com, with the link to that being in the description below. We currently have a bit of an April Fool's Day sale going on now until April 14th, to where you can get 20% off your order when you use code BLART. Yep, that BLART. B-L-A-R-T at the checkout. And look, if all you want is a nice, cool, casual place where you want to relax, get to know some of the former guests of the podcast, or make some new friends, show off some of your own art as well, may I recommend checking out our Discord server, the Artist Sanctuary. The group we have there is absolutely outstanding, and we have a good bit of fun. I know with April Fools, for those that were aware, we certainly had a little bit of fun, and you would be a wonderful addition to that group today. But now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. Alright, Sam, before we really get going, I must ask the icebreaker question of the podcast, if I may. Let's say you get to go to a deserted island on your own accord. It's just you, alone with your thoughts. You get to kick back, relax, breathe, get to truly enjoy yourself for a little bit. With accommodations, you're not stranded on an island or whatnot. It's like a little personal paradise, just, to get away from everything for just a little bit. To help make sure you don't go completely insane on this island, you can bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you to help with whatever kind of headspace you want on this island. If given this opportunity, what would that one piece be?
Oh, man. Well, electricity is probably out of the question, so I'm going to probably stick it with...
I mean, you say electricity is out of the question, but like I said, you have accommodations. Like, you have your amenities and stuff like that, so you're good to go.
Okay. I'll run with I'll probably just bring a guitar. I know how to play a little bit. I can strum a few things and come up with some ideas. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know how long the strings are going to last, but we'll see.
If nothing else, we can always ship over like additional strings to make sure that they last a little longer.
Yeah, we'll work on some nylon, maybe something like that.
I did want to like briefly bring up like the whole entire music aspect of you, because whenever I set up this interview for you, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't anticipate talking about like the music aspect. Like, you've been toying with music a little bit here and there. Like, tell me about your little musical past real quickly.
So when I was in high school, I was in a few bands. I was in a metalcore band called Among the Lifeless with a few of my buddies, Dylan, Wes, Jeffrey, and Kellis. We were all in like a metalcore band, kind of like we loved Killswitch Engage, Atreyu type stuff. And, I was the bass player / I did guitar work, but mostly just bass player. And, it was fun. I had a great time. I learned how to be a star, and so to speak. And, it's been a thing always in my life.
Okay.
I still listen to a lot of different variety of music. I kind of listen to more music than I do lyrics. I'm not really good lyrically and listening to the words, but whenever someone typically get me in their groove, I like to hear what's the word I'm trying to look for? The composure of the music, so to speak.
More or less like enjoying like whatever vibe that song may bring, more than like the message behind it, more often than not.
Yeah, because honestly, if there was a song that was telling me uplifting music but had a really sad, sad way it's brought together, and just those types of scales, I'd probably be like, yep, this is a pretty great song. I don't know what it's about.
I just can't help but think of Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People. That's the first song that came to mind when you were describing that.
I don't know that one. That's rough. I know that one now. That and it's by Outkast. Hey Ya.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot sadder than people think.
If you take the time to listen to the lyrics, honestly, like, I'm kind of the same way with you when it comes to like more of a vibe than like what the song has to listen to. Although, like, I think we could go on for days just think of different discographies that are like that. But regardless, a guitar, that is your answer. You're locking that in.
I think so. Yeah, it's easy enough. I can I can pick it back up. I'm not the greatest at it anymore. It kind of sits there and collects dust. And, maybe I need to pick it back up.
If nothing else, maybe you can pick up the music so you can get your own like Jeff Jarrett knockoff gimmick. I'm joking with you. But regardless, if that is your answer, well, I cannot think of a better way to start the Postmodern Art Podcast. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. You should check out that incredible merch shop on fourthball.com. Link to that in the description below. You would look fantastic in those clothes today. And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok at PostmodArtPod for future updates and guest announcements, including today's guest. Hailing from the local Kickback in Tifton, Georgia, he is an indie wrestler whose huge personality and fearless mentality can't be contained, giving his audience a good time. Welcome to the podcast, Sam Skaggs!
How you doing, man? That's actually a really good intro.
Thank you.
That's really good.
I like to give my guests the intro that I feel like they deserve more than anything else.
I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, I appreciate you taking the time to be here. For those who don't know, although I'll probably say something in the little intro that I record beforehand and whatnot, but you and I actually go like way back. Like we've known each other like good, like, couple years ago when we were both in South Georgia more than anything else. And to see you more or less develop more of that persona that I got to know you for and really embrace to both get into incredible ventures and develop new ventures for your own. I knew it was only a matter of time before I had to get you on the podcast to talk about this kind of stuff. But before sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But before we really divulge into the stuff you're doing nowadays, I want to go back just a little bit and learn more or less the origin story of Sam. What got you interested in art and in particular wrestling? What got you interested in that in the first place?
So I've been a bit of an artist my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was talented in certain things. My dad's really talented in cosplay and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
He can do really well. Just different aspects, and I've carried it over and I have those skills I can notice. In art, I'm actually really good at black and white pencil as my medium. There was a whole project I did in high school, and it was high contrast realism. I was really good at that, and I'm kind of falling off since I don't use it. It was really cool seeing how I could apply those skills and learn about shading and depth. And crazy enough, I learning smudging was a crazy and cool experience.
Right.
And it made my project look great, but I got a lot of points taken off from the college. They were like coming in to look at our stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, I can see you use your finger to smudge." I was like, "What else do you smudge with?"
Like, you want us to use our nose or something like that? Like, what's the goal here?
It shows like a tool. It's like a piece of paper rolled up. It's really tightly packed. You rub things with it to make it spread. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I never would have known."
Yeah.
With music, it's always been in my blood. My dad was a really big Pink Floyd fan.
Oh, okay.
He's really into Ozzy now, like Ozzy's later stuff. He's really into it. I'm a more Metallica, Killswitch Engage. Right now, I like Sleep Token. Do I? I mean, they're okay. It's a lot. I like the pageantry.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of good stuff going on right now. I'm a big fan of, I guess Motionless in White, your Bad Omens, other stuff like that. Who else is good? I mean, there's just a lot of good stuff going on right now.
There is.
Ooh, yeah, Spirit Box. Yeah, that's a really good one. Really good fundamentals.
All right. Sorry, I don't know if you were going to keep going with that. Like, I can only imagine, especially with kind of like being nurtured in with some of the art that like your dad has done, whether it be like the cosplay stuff or the music stuff like that. It must have been like a really like almost culturally enriching environment for you, like really growing up, or at least like art's like creatively enriching experience for you growing up.
Yeah, I would say it was really good because I was able to have those types of things in my life where, we'd sit around and play Uno and Skip-Bo and Phase 10 on the weekend while, my aunt, my dad, and we were all playing around the table. They were smoking cigarettes, and we were listening to Pink Floyd, The Wall, on the surround sound. And it was just a good weekend. That was literally what we used to do whenever it'd be visitation. Like my dad had us for like some weekends, and some nights it'd be family game night. And we just chill out and do that. And then it carried on. It carried on through my life, and I got to experience music and a bunch of other things in my own type of adventures. And it was great.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. Now, I'm wondering, in this little like early venture, or at least early part of life, when did wrestling become a part of your life as well?
Wrestling has been there since I was a child.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it. I was a fan from the start. My first memory is Stone Cold being thrown off a bridge by The Rock.
That's a good memory.
I saw my mother that night because they killed Stone Cold, and then he came back next week after The Rock had a eulogy. And that's as soon as I became a young man in Valdosta, and going out and venturing on my own. Finally, that's when I found wrestling.
Okay. Would you say that like that venturing out more than anything else, was that a moment that it went from just like a general love for wrestling to a passion and wanting to potentially make it your career?
It came from my papa. He passed away in 2018, and I saw all the great people in his funeral, and how many lives he touched, and how much of a good friend he was. And I was working just a 9 to 5, and I said, I'm kind of like just doing this every day and just paying my bills, right?
Right.
That's it. It's boring after a while. You got nothing else to be passionate about. So here I am, like 23, 25. I don't know what time for 5 years ago. So 23. Here I am, and I find a wrestling school, and I jump in it. I jump in head first. I get trained up. And then it blows up. And I meet guys like Jay Too Strong and Prop the Croc and Brother Azrael.
Yeah.
And it was a wild ride that got me my start. And once it took off, it was a rocket.
Oh, I could tell, especially with some of those wrestlers that you listed, which for those who don't know, like at this point, they're essentially like South Georgia legends at this point. Like, the J2 Strongs.
Right? We've only been doing this for a short amount of time, and we're known as the South Georgia guys.
Yeah.
We fought hard to get up there in the North Georgia scene, and we had a good amount of people behind us helping us and cultivating us, and the right people helping us. And so when it finally took off, it was just wild seeing it happen. And we were all so hungry, so passionate, just seeing the light in our eyes and seeing all the cool stuff we were doing. It was definitely an eye-opening experience.
I can only imagine, especially with, like obviously major credit to those guys as well, but it's not like you were just there, on the sidelines just cheering them on. You yourself had a pretty cool bombastic personality to really bring forth to it, and that is the legend that I personally know as Hold My Beer Hanson. Now, I'm curious, how would you describe Hold My Beer Hanson, and how did you develop this more or less like alter ego of you?
When it started, he was a wild party animal redneck that wanted to get in there and prove people wrong and prove that he had what it takes to be in the ring. More or less nowadays, he's more of kin to what I'm actually, 100% I am, is I'm a family man just trying to work and get my name out there and be a star. And, I'm going out there, I'm doing my best, putting my hands up to fight. And showing that Hold My Beer Hanson is not just, hold my beer because I like to drink. Hold my beer is, either watch me fail or watch me blow your mind.
Yep. Basically, Hold My Beer is like, hold my beer. Something's about to happen. You're not sure what, but something's about to happen.
Yeah, something wild. But speaking about that early days, right, in Valdosta, I did want to say, I don't think I've ever seen the short film I was a part of.
Right.
For your project.
So a quick little aside for the people at home that are wondering what in the world we're even talking about. I had asked you to be a part of the senior film that I was a part of. I forget what it was called at the top of my head. I'll let you know right now. I do have the film. I have a copy of that film. I can easily send it to you after we get done with this interview. If you give me an email, like it's yours. Like I got you covered there. But no, like I remember because. The way I was able to find you in the first place, the first I even knew about you is because a good close friend of ours, Matt Snow, I think told me about like the local wrestling promotion there that you were a part of, and I went to one of the shows, got to really meet you and some of the other wrestlers, and it was like really cool to really know you. When we were needing a film, I think Max Steele, someone else who I need to get on this podcast at some point, was talking about like a certain kind of character. I forget exactly how he was described. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. I think I know a guy, because I think you had mentioned something about wanting to get into acting or something along the lines of that. I don't remember why you came to mind, but like you came to mind, and I let you know like, hey, we have this little part in the short film. If you want, like let Max know, we got you covered more than anything else. And you did a really good performance. I really enjoyed it. Like it was the like older, like almost like slightly wiser person that we were looking for that role. Like I think he really did a good job with it.
I think I can do a way better job now than I can then.
True.
I'm definitely feeling now more attuned to that guy that we were actually trying to film.
Mm-hmm.
That character, it was more that like, listen, man, I've been on the job for a while. I know what I'm doing.
Yep.
Just please listen. Like, now I know that guy. Back whenever I was filming it, I was just like, I kind of have an idea. I'm gonna just copy something else. But, I was way naive back then. Now I'm just like, yeah, I'm that guy.
I mean, to be fair, I think all of us on that film set was just a little naive. We were just working, just trying to get a grade, and you were a good person for that role more than anything else. So,
it was a great time.
Oh, it was a fantastic time. I remember doing all sorts of different things for filming that, and like I had so much fun doing that film. And I mean, you were certainly a perfect part of that. Like I said, having you on set those days or whatnot, you were a good, bright personality that I still remember to this day. Like I certainly enjoyed it.
I think I ended up after that, I did one commercial for like a cigarette stop smoking campaign
Oh, interesting.
in Thomasville. And then it led me to get a part in a Machine Gun Kelly movie called On One Way.
Wait, time out. Hold on. You want to run that back with me real quickly? Machine Gun Kelly movie?
Well, the problem is I haven't actually gotten to watch the movie and see my part, but I got to be in a scene with Kevin Bacon wearing the jacket with the tassels on it.
Oh
and
God.
I went back to actually watch it and record it so I could show people, because I can't just claim I was in it. I gotta have proof.
Right.
But I was in the Machine Gun Kelly movie, and it was filmed in Thomasville, like 4 a.m.
Oh wow.
It was like during that hard Texas freeze when everything was like terrible outside.
Right.
It was in the middle of COVID, and it was during the time when I met my wife. And I was texting her saying, yeah, I'm filming a movie. I'll talk to you later. And I got done at 4 a.m.
I did not realize I needed to add prestigious actor to my accolades in the beginning.
I ain't really trying to claim that, right? They did love the jacket, though. I say
bet.
And I would have been more aware of sharing my information and name, because I would have loved any part of like being part of a costume team or anything in that matter. Like George is doing well with a bunch of filming and stuff.
They really are. I mean, they have been for years, ever since they really introduced the whole entire like tax incentive and really tried to bring like those big studios in to film stuff.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm in the wrong field. I should have just took it up.
There's still time. There's still hope.
I was like, listen, brother, I'm not looking for a spot in the ring. I'm just really trying to run a wire, put the ring together. I'm trying to get a job,
Again, there's still time. There's still hope. We can get you there at some point.
I got a lot of other crazy stuff going on.
That is true. But obviously, going back to some of those different opportunities, especially when it comes to being Hold My Beer Hanson or whatnot, like I can only imagine, like, what did it mean for you to really embody that character, like embrace that as your character?
Well, when it started, I was hungry. I was just passionate. You couldn't have told me anything. I knew that I was right in my ways, and stubborn would be a thing. Um, and I was just wanting to be a star. I was wanting to get out there, put my name in lights. I sold a lot of my soul, and I was willing to put my name out there and get in anybody's ear to show who what I can do. I didn't have much in terms of like a great wrestler. In terms of like, there's a lot of guys out there that are busting their tail and they're putting the work in the ring, and they do a great job every night they go out there.
Right.
And I'm not a 5-star machine. I'm not I'm not a technical wrestler by any means. And so I had what I had. I had those things that I was just good at. And so when I went up there to North Georgia, I got a little bit exposed, and I learned from it. But my character carried me so much that it was kind of an undeniable thing that when we started the All Star Special, that's when the real work got in the hand. Like it, honestly, Huck set me up to be a better wrestler, and now I can go in and I'm aware of more things than I am just getting my stuff in.
I did want to touch upon that little tag team group that you mentioned for a second there, the All Star Special, which I gotta say, first off, it was yeah, there you go, scattered, smothered, covered. First off, it was genius. I'm surprised no one else has thought of calling themselves All Star Special. So that's a good thing that you've taken that and embraced it. How did that team more or less develop together? And I can only imagine the opportunities that tag teams kind of led you.
So Southern Honor it's a big company here in Georgia and in the North Georgia Canton area. They got a lot of great video packages and video work, and it is where you go to get great video and some dope matches. So me being my character, I pushed really hard during the 2020, layoff, and I pushed that character, and we did a whole program where I was campaigning to be in their Rumble. It worked. It worked like gangbusters. All those people, the lid blew off the building, and it was a beautiful moment. It was validating, that I had put in all that hard work promoting myself and using the people around me to get my name in that building. And by the point, I didn't have to do anything when I got in that Rumble. So a few months go by, and now I'm having matches, but now I'm having matches and I'm getting exposed that I was not a good wrestler. So Huck was doing a program, and he was, got done with a great feud with Joe Black, and he saw that they weren't going to be using me anymore. So he said, "Put the kid with me." And it was going to be a one-off. It was just going to be a little thing, and they didn't really expect it to work. Whenever I dropped the logo, Matt Hankins, by the way, my wrestling dad, he gave us the name because he was at Waffle House, took a picture of the menu, and I was like, "Hey, what do we name this tag team? I don't know what to do." And he just took a picture of the All-Star Special, and I was like, "That's it. That's what we can do." So I made the logo up. The first iteration was, just All-Star Special. Yellow circle in the background, blue letters, red letters, one kind of big, one fancy cursive. And it was a simple design, right?
Right.
It worked. We sold all of those shirts in one night. We sent it into creative, and we're like, "Hey, this is what we're going to come out with." And we're already doing pre-sales. And they said, "Well, we didn't intend on this being a thing, but let's see what happens." And yeah, it was a very undeniable experience where we saw we just got booked everywhere. We got popular fast. So we did the jukebox thing, doing the music every time.
Right.
We came out to different songs you would hear at a Waffle House, and we really kicked it off and did a great thing. And we, like, the first titles we won was at Viral Pro Wrestling. James Caleb Kitchens gave us our start there. Handed us the ball. And then I think the next ones was Southern Honor, and then a few others. And yeah, great promotions. They gave us their titles. They said, "Hey, there's no excuse now. We got to give it to them." And yeah, it was such a great time.
I can only imagine, especially like really having that opportunity to step forth and really prove to the world, like more than anything else, hey, I deserve to be here, and this is an opportunity to really show you guys what I'm capable of.
I think, yeah, like when it started hitting me that I was getting better in ring
Mm-hmm.
was finally when we won the Southern Honor tag team titles. And it wasn't how we wanted to win them, due to some injuries and stuff like that. So, things got pushed fast.
Right.
And we finally having that, looking at it and saying, damn, this is the promotion at the time.
Mm-hmm.
This is really a big moment for me mentally. And I got to win it with Huck. And then eventually we got to IWE and Augusta, and that took off. Like with the crowd's massive, they're hot, they're singing songs with us. We got the belts, and I got it with Jay, my OG tag friend partner,
Right.
my best friend, right? And we added Jay to the group, and now it feels more of like we're a three-piece of Jay and Huck are absolute killers in the ring. Me and Jay are that, younger two guys that get to tee-hee and laugh about everything. And Huck gets to be the older guy that, he's looking at us and he's teaching us and he's giving us all this wisdom. And he's having fun with us. But also he's seeing that these two goofballs, he's having to make sure don't die.
Oh goodness, like it just seemed like fun more than anything else. Like I can only imagine,
Yeah.
like
First, it was fucking Hanson as a buddy cop film. It was just like me as the younger guy with everything to prove, and Huck just trying to make sure I don't die. Now Huck's trying to make sure we both don't die, and it's fine. And Huck had a heart attack, and B and J had to hold it down. He came back, and he had his match like literally a month after his heart attack.
oh
We
yeah.
didn't know if we were gonna run Huck, and he's still kicking, just still doing moonsaults and stuff. That's, he's crazy.
He's crazy, but I mean, it's an incredible story regardless. And I guess kind of more or less like the love and passion for wrestling that I imagine not only he has, but you all have when it comes to
I
this
mean,
beautiful
the
little
man
thing.
has been shot, he's been stabbed, he's, been run over, he's had a heart attack, he's come back from the brink of death. This man is the Incredible Hulk for a reason.
that is valid more than anything else. I'm genuinely curious now. Like, obviously, like ever since you've really embraced this character, ever since you've really been a part of wrestling as Hold My Beer Hanson or whatnot, do you have a particular favorite moment or a particular favorite match? Like thinking back to your wrestling journey so far.
There's a lot. There is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The most that like the first one to kick off and say I'm here was the Rumble Jack entrance where the roof blew off.
Right.
The checkpoints that said, okay, this is working. Viral's tag team titles, Southern Honors tag team titles is more like, yeah, this is definitely a moment. Whenever I got to sit down and work against, actually, my favorite moment, I got it.
Okay.
So here I am, and I have a terrible match. And this is me starting out in North Georgia. I have a terrible match in a promotion, and I'm tagging with Matt Sells, and I'm doing a terrible job. As a wrestler, I'm doing terrible. To the fans, they don't care. But I go to the back, and I get talked to, and it's not like they're talking to me bad. They're just coaching me and telling me what I did wrong.
Right.
And I just feel bad because I'm very passionate. And I'm feeling very trashy. I'm not feeling good. And so I go up to the merch table, and this little kid comes up to me and says, "You did really good tonight. You're my favorite wrestler." And I was like, waterworks all the way. And I was like, I feel terrible. and this kid comes up to me and I'm his favorite. Um, that was honestly a really big one. That's one of my favorite moments because that made me realize that it was, it wasn't even about me anymore. It was about what I can do and be that hero.
Right.
There was one time we went to West Virginia. We had a match, and it opened my eyes on how easy wrestling can be mentally, and get out of my head space, and it made me realize, oh, this can be like that. Oh, that's so easy, and then make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And another favorite moment was we sold $700 worth of merch in one night. I mean,
Good Lord. Good Lord, man. 700. I can only dream of having $700 in one night, let alone in merch. That's incredible.
it hurt having to split it,
All right, here's 100 for you, 100 for you, and the rest for me. No.
I was just sitting there like, damn, $700. Man, I really like just walk on off of this right now.
The temptation was there, but you did not concede.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, regardless, like the fact that you've been able to enjoy so much success as Hold My Beer Hanson or whatnot, and really have these incredible opportunities, like that's absolutely insane to hear. Like I can imagine if I know you're still wrestling. Like obviously, you still want those incredible opportunities, but more than just enjoying incredible opportunities, you've also gone out of your way to create some incredible opportunities, not only for yourself, but for other incredible people. And that's with the development of this brand new promotion called Kraken Pro Wrestling. Now, I'm genuinely...
Get into the meat here.
Exactly. Now, I'm genuinely curious, like, you said yourself, you've been having like a lot of incredible success really, wrestling yourself. What made you sit back and be like, you know what? I have an idea for a wrestling promotion. Let me go forth and make my own. Like, what made you decide to start Kraken Pro?
Kraken came up whenever I was, I got a kid now.
Mm-hmm.
And a beautiful wife, and I got, things that I got going on here at home.
Right.
And so I'm popular 5 hours away. And, doing that every weekend, a little rough. So I was thinking to myself, once my kid was born and I started taking less bookings, I was like, I'm going to probably cultivate my own. And so I was in there looking at a bunch of different names like Energizer Pro Wrestling or Lightning Pro, something lame, right? And, I was like, I can't really design anything off of that. And so I do a lot of graphic design work.
Right.
And so I was like, I like Dragon Gate. That's pretty cool.
Mm.
I looked up a bunch of different mythological creatures and a bunch of fairies, trolls, and all that popped up. And I was like, I saw Kraken, and I was like, that might be it. That might be the one. And so I drew up the image, and then I started putting all of it together. And Kraken looked so good, and I was like, that's gonna be the one. So now it's grown into I'm doing more than just wrestling with it. I am looking to do community outreach with it.
Right.
So I have signed it today. We're working on a show to benefit the Alzheimer's Association.
Okay.
We're going to be doing a fundraiser show for them. I signed my first sponsor today with Church's Chicken.
There you go.
Grey Ghost Comics helps us out and promotes a bunch of stuff. The ABAC, the college here in Tifton, is looking to do every semester show to help their kids and have their spirit week, sort of. And it's honestly snowballing right now, and I'm having a lot of cool success. I was on the news this morning,
Right.
and I'm hoping that I can cultivate and grow this area because in South Georgia there's not a lot. So I'm looking to take this area, cultivate a show and a promotion and a community outreach. So maybe that one guy, just like I was, that's super hungry, super passionate, and is willing to do everything to make his name, or her name. I don't know. We don't know. maybe they can be the next person. I would love to see the passion and fire I used to have. I'm a different person now. I'm not that guy that's running out at every opportunity and trying to, go haphazardly in the wind. I got a lot of things riding on me in my life now. Uh, I'm a man compared to, a boy in 2019. Um, so it's really great seeing how I've changed, and I got all these things, and maybe I can use my resources with my team and create for not only me but for a person of the future.
I mean, it's incredible to hear, like, again, what started as just I want to do something to where I can work a little closer to home and create incredible opportunities. The fact that it is snowballed to this point to where, like, you're getting all these incredible opportunities. And at the time that we're recording, you hadn't even had your first show yet. Like, that's, but
Yeah.
by the time, I will say, unfortunately, by the time this episode comes out, it'll be right after the first show or whatnot.
That's
So,
fine.
which, I mean, that's just how I had things planned out. Regardless, like, it's incredible to know that, like, you're cultivating this, like, incredible new opportunity for people, and hopefully, like, providing, like you said, the next generation of potential, South wrestling superstars more than anything else. Like, I can only
Yeah, I
imagine.
mean, I'm only 5 years in, and I don't even think I've hit to the point where I want to quit.
Right.
It's just I want more for this area, and for me to do for that to happen, I have to give of myself and of my team to create and cultivate, so I can enjoy those fruits of my labor, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense more than anything else. I mean, like, I can only imagine as well, like, as cool as it is to provide those fruits and labors, I can only imagine the challenges this kind of been for you, like, really getting a promotion started up, because it's not like anyone can just do it at the drop of a hat.
Nope, not at all. It's a lot rougher than people think. I mean, yeah, you can just, hey, I'm going to have a live pro wrestling here at this place, this date, and you rent a building, you rent a ring, or you have a ring and stuff like that, and then you just get a car together and throw a bunch of guys in there. But if I'm going to do this right, I have to have my right team. I have to do the right bit of putting this thing together. And yeah, I want this to grow. I'm not trying to just run matches. I'm trying to run a promotion. I'm trying to run a, you know, a program.
Right, right. Like you said, really cultivating some incredible opportunities for people. Like, I can only imagine, especially for you as someone that grew up around this area, to see something like this potentially, dropped here, and Lord knows what you could potentially develop with it. Like, it must be daunting, but also, like, really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's like I saw the little thing slide by, and I'm like, oh, did we get another guest?
Oh no, I was moving something.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I can only imagine, especially like you said, at the time that we're recording this, it's about to be your first show. Like, what is the emotion like going through you right now as you're getting closer and closer to that first show date?
As it's going, stressed, tired, ready for it to be over.
Mm-hmm.
But I know if once this first one's over, we got to start the work back over again. So knowing that it's basically just how you go to work and you get a project done. It's just like that. You get this done, you get it in the bin, and you can start on the next one.
Well, there you go. There you go. And I can only imagine, especially with the talent you've already advertised and the talent you're bringing in for this one, like, it's bound to be an exciting show one way or another.
Yeah, I trusted these guys, and I got a lot of great talent. And my card is stacked up with great guys that I know I can trust, and to bring a quality, great show.
All I'm saying right now is, like, especially with the people that you've had on the card or whatnot, the one I'm most excited for very personal reasons, is I want to see what the sweeper Jack Miles is going to be doing whenever he steps in that ring. Like, I'm very biased more than anything else, but, like, if he doesn't win, I'll disagree, but I won't riot.
The sweeper has had a crazy amount of support.
Mm-hmm.
The sweeper, I don't know what it is, but this guy is taking off. He's even had like a crazy match yet, but I'm excited to see what he's able to do. I know, son. He's excited. He's excited too. Um, so, you want to hand him to me? I could probably do it with him. That's fine. So yeah, it's great to see the Sweepers got a lot of great support. There's actually a comic book that's been that's been made at this
Ooh.
point. Our great friends at Grey Ghost have actually made a comic book for the Sweeper and for Kraken Pro
Oh.
Wrestling. Um, yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot of cool stuff going on.
oh, you gotta send me that comic. I gotta see that beauty. That just sounds like fun more than anything else.
The other guys, I will say that you're going to look forward to if you're running this. If you're coming to our show on March the 30th at the Tifton Theater, you should look forward to J.T. Strong, Brandon Wiley, Trevor Aon, Trey Shaw, William Huckabee, Lamar Diggs, just in case the Hoss fight I got with the Mongrel versus Brother Azrael. I got a guy named Young Mighty Joe. He's like Tarzan. He don't speak, but I talked to his handler, and the handler says he's pretty good at wrestling. We'll see what happens with that. I got another title match from IWE. The first defense of Charlie Anarchy and the Mayhem title is going to be on my show. They just
wow.
Charlie Anarchy just won it on, was it March the 9th? And so now on March the 30th, he's having his first defense on my show. Yeah, we're gonna see how that goes.
That's gotta be quite an honor more than anything else to be trusted with your first show with the first defense of such an interesting title more than anything else.
You know what, man? I'm excited. I'm glad they gave me the opportunity to actually to have that title on my show, and they trusted me enough. So I gotta make sure I do right by them, and maybe it could be a working relationship.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, again, we're talking about all this stuff, but, like, the first show is, like, right around the corner, but I want to think, like, more or less long-term. What is your hopes with Kraken Pro Wrestling?
To cultivate, grow, and give South Georgia something of a great quality wrestling show that's out there and has the bandwidth, so to speak. A lot of things happen in this area, but they don't really get brought up to the overall crowd or the dirt sheets or anything like that. It's not promoted that well. I mean, they do get their crowd and everything like that, and they don't placate to the people up north, but I have that connection, and I have the ability to, one day I'm going to have one guy, if he comes in and he's from this area, he could be the next guy to go up north, like me, Jay, and Proc, and he can take off that way. It just takes a moment. It just takes somebody to say they know you. And if I could create that working relationship to get people from up north down here and, get these guys up there, I could definitely hope to create something beautiful.
I mean, it's almost poetic to hear, like, having this kind of hope for, again, like I said, the future. I can imagine, especially with how you are both with wrestling but also with your own personal life, like, I imagine you're looking a lot towards the future and, like, really thinking about the exciting stuff you might be, just around the corner for all you know.
Yeah, man, I'm just really just trying to do something cool so me and my kid can relax one day and say, yeah, your daddy did that.
That's a good thing to aspire for. I mean, obviously we've been talking for a little bit, but, like, thinking back to, like, the art that you kind of more or less, like, grew up with and grew up around, to the wrestling you really been able to invest yourself in and really bring that art form to life in one way or another, to what you're planning for the future. Like, thinking of your art journey as a whole, does it amaze you how far you've been able to develop?
I don't know. I really don't. I would say I'm impressed. I think that younger me would definitely be, like, taken aback by what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, who knows? I probably could have been that guy to say, you probably could have done this that way and done more. Little man has a water bottle and he loves traveling around.
It must be fun mid interview or mid talking to someone. All of a sudden, you feel something wet on your foot, and you're like, "What in the world?"
So he's just tearing up the whole kitchen. He's just running around with
there he is.
Everybody. And son, this is Cash Riley. This is everything I love in my life, and what I look forward to seeing every day when I get home from work.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, I can see why he's a major inspiration for a lot of what you do. I really do get
Oh,
that.
absolutely. And he's a total menace.
What kid is it? Let's be honest with ourselves.
Oh man, what? Don't say that. No, no, I'm young. I let him. He was a, you know, almost a terrorist.
But we that's I'm sorry, that's just cute. That's just adorable. We've talked a lot about obviously like the art you're really putting forth out there, both for yourself and for several other people. But for this next question, if I may, let's go a little above and beyond, if I may, and give you more or less the dream scenario. Let's say I am Big Shot Mr. Moneybags. I come to him like, look, Sam, we know you can do some incredible stuff. We've seen what you've been able to develop both for yourself, and we see what you're brewing in Tifton. We think, you just need a little extra push, a little extra platform to do some more. We have access to everyone in whatever industry possible, and more money than should be possible. We really should be taking care of, a lot of different people for a lot of different chaotic things at this point, but we'll focus on them later. Right now, we are focusing on you and you alone. If given this opportunity, what would be the dream Sam Skaggs project?
Oh man, I'm starting a circus. Uh, yeah, I went to a circus recently and I saw how much money they made off of me.
Hey, that's the businessman in you thinking more than anything else.
I would probably get me a tiger or something. I don't know. Uh, I've been seeing a lot of other projects where it's not wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
and wrestling's cool and all, but if we're gonna get like crazy with money, I literally watched somebody's hula hoop, and I paid $10 for a light up toy that was literally worth like $1. Yeah, I'm gonna just start going into the circus business, and yeah, get that rolling.
What are you gonna call it? Kraken Pro Circus or something like that?
I don't even know. I'm open to ideas.
There you go.
And how much money people made off of me like that, and
Yeah.
seeing how easy. And I'm looking at the logistics of like, man, they really did rob me. I'm gonna have to get into something.
I will say, in all honesty, I think that's probably been one of the most unique responses to that question I've ever had. I'm not gonna lie. But sadly, we gotta get down from the dream scenario. We gotta get back to reality, and I'll ask the ever so generic question: where do you hope to see yourself in, say, 5 to 10 years from now?
Well, hopefully, Kraken Pro Wrestling is the mecca it has become.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I've been a great teacher and a mentor, and I have put my name out there for other people and created some stars. I hope that Kraken has funded a lot of fundraisers and helped a lot of people change their lives.
Right.
And I hope that I have been a great friend to a lot of people. I'm just going to change this camera angle so my wife can walk by.
Fair
And
enough.
Kraken is going to be not only a me project, it'll be something for the next person, and I will pass on All Star Special, hopefully grow some more merchandise like there, and change so many lives. To be a cultivator, a farmer of sorts, and really change things for the better.
That sounds like a great thing to aspire for more than anything else. As we start to wind down the interview, I just have one last question that I really want to ask. Obviously, you've been deeply invested in art in one aspect for another for as long as you can remember. How important is art, not just for you, but for the world as a whole?
It's so important that honestly, I don't think people could get by without creating some form of fashion. I do know that there's a lot of people that they don't really care for the artistic side of things, but it is everywhere. It is everything. Whether it be your heartbeat and the to the beat of whatever drum, your heart, your passion, everything like that. It's all a form of art. So, yeah, it's definitely needed.
That is wonderfully worded, if I do say so myself. Like I said, that's all the questions I have for you, Sam. I've already showered you with a whole bunch of praise, but I'm gonna shower you with a little bit more because it's my podcast. I do what I want real quickly. I'll try to make it quick, I promise.
Yeah.
But ever since I first got to know you back whenever we were both in Valdosta or whatnot, like I've always been trying to keep tabs with you as much as I can because you were just a cool person first and foremost, and like really get a chance to like relax with, like chill with you and like see some of the cool stuff you've been able to do starting out. Like I knew you had something special, especially with like how confident you were in yourself starting out. Seeing what you've been able to develop since then, like both opportunities and taking how should I word this? Getting these opportunities that really embracing opportunities you've been given and creating opportunities for other people, like it's nothing but absolutely fantastic. And honestly, I'm not joking when I say this. If there's any way I can help out with what you're doing from here on out, like I'm more than happy to. Like the little koozie thing that I was able to sponsor a while ago or whatnot, like that was a fun opportunity. I was more than happy to do that because I knew that you were certainly something special in this indie wrestling space. Like I genuinely hope that more people get to see an opportunity, not only what Hold My Beer Hanson can do, but really get up to see what Sam Skaggs can do as a promoter and really create some incredible opportunities. Like I know if you keep that love and passion that you've had for years at this point, I know it's only a matter of time before people are easily jumping on board and really making this what it is. So thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam, for what you do. Please keep up the awesome work, and you know I'm gonna be rooting for you every single step of the way.
Yeah, it's all about being genuine. It's about being genuine and upfront and transparent with all you do. And just overall just treat people how you want to be treated.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Now, if people want to see all about this cool, incredible stuff that I've been gushing about this entire time, go ahead and plug your stuff for the people at home.
Yes, you can catch Kraken Pro Wrestling. It will be in Tifton, Georgia, March 30th at the Tifton Theater, 7 o'clock. You will see a lot of great action. If you want to check us out online, go to Kraken Pro Wrestling on Facebook. If you want to join the team and find out how you can use your skills and help out not only me, but people of the future, if I got people that are looking to do certain types of skills, maybe you have the skills that can help another person in their life. You can email us at krakenprowrestling2024@gmail.com. And if you have me on Facebook at Sam Skaggs, that is awesome. You can shoot me a message. I would prefer you just send the email. And if you have Hold My Beer Hanson, you can follow my Facebook there. That's where I post a lot of the All-Star Special, and a lot of the Hold My Beer Hanson stuff, a lot of my wrestling stuff that I do in my team. And that, you'll see a lot of cool stuff coming up from that. And also I got a Pro Wrestling Tees. Pro Wrestling Tees, www.prowrestlingtees.com/Hold My Beer Hanson. You can get some awesome merchandise that I designed myself.
Yeah.
Actually, I think every I designed. I do a lot of crazy stuff. I'm very passionate. I do a lot of cool things. Yeah, as if you're on my Facebook as my friend, you get to see my awesome kid and wife and all the crazy stuff we get to do.
There you go. There you go. Let's see. What was the word I was thinking of? Do you? Obviously, I'm gonna make sure. Oh Jesus, we're getting a little spot. Anyways, I'll be sure to link all that stuff in the description below. Like I got you covered in case you missed anything. Do you have any final words before we sign off?
Yes. If you ever find yourself having a child, make sure that you baby proof the whole house, but also baby proof yourself, because they might be a lot of trouble and could tear up everything you have.
Parenting tips from Sam Skaggs, everyone. That's a wonderful way to end the podcast. With all of that, all I've left to say is for the people at home, pay your artists, pay your wrestlers, pay everyone. thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If this is your first time listening, I greatly do appreciate it. It's been really good to really reconnect with Sam. I'll tell you that much. Sam was always a good buddy back whenever I was in South Georgia, so it's always good to see and keep tabs of him and see that he's doing well, genuinely. Sam, if you've gotten up to this point, thank you for your time more than anything else. I know, especially at the time we were interviewing this, you were very busy, but I really appreciate all that you've been able to do, both for yourself and for everyone, especially with this, new thing with Kraken Pro Wrestling, giving people an opportunity that I feel like they deserve. I mean, what you're doing and what this podcast is all about is kind of one and the same. That's something that I've always appreciated when it comes to wrestling. Like, I know I've been able to gush a little bit more about my love of wrestling as of late, especially when I had the Creeps on, which was a wonderful episode. But I think with Sam, like, you can easily see that, especially with the fact that, like, he wants to give people that opportunity in a place where there's a whole lot of opportunities. Because, around South Georgia, there might be a few here and there or whatnot, but, like, it's not like what it is up here where I am. Up here where I am, if I wanted to, I can go to Atlanta just about any weekend and there's a wrestling show. But the fact that he wants to give people that have that love and desire just as he does and really let them run with it, it's commendable, especially with all the chaos that comes with running a show. Like, I couldn't even begin to imagine what was running through his mind leading up to that amazing first show. That's why I highly encourage you guys, if you can, keep up the tabs with Kraken Pro Wrestling. Show love and support. Buy merch or whatnot. If you have the disposable income for it, sponsor them or something. Opportunities like this should be presented to incredible people. Just as this podcast is trying to do what it can to present incredible opportunities to people to really talk about themselves. And I think having Sam on was both a good way of me showcasing that, but also, fuck. I'm leaving that in. Fuck it. That was my alarm, because I'm recording this at 8:30 in the morning. No, what was I saying? Oh yeah, no, saying, like, him getting opportunities to these people like that, that's what I try to do with this podcast, and getting to reconnect with him as well was a great way for me to really reminisce on, good college days more than anything else. I mean, don't get me wrong, college wasn't exactly a walk in the park, and you can tell because I still haven't got my college degree and I'm still living with my parents, but there were definitely some good days. And I'm hoping with opportunities that Sam is being able to provide to people, and with you guys' continued love and support with the podcast, we can both enjoy some amazing days going forward. So not just with the guests that I bring on for Amateur April, but for every single guest, and for every single artist friend that you have, show that love and support for them. Really help them get those good days.